lot of Foundation files. Some shake you slowly, some hit you all at once. This one, File 008, I read it 3 times before I accepted what it was saying. Because it's not just a cold case. It's not just a mystery. It's a pattern. And the Foundation knew that long before they sent it to me. January 1959. Soviet Russia. 9 experienced hikers set out into the northern Ural Mountains. They were students, graduates, athletes, some of the most capable outdoor adventurers in the country. Led by 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov, the group had completed dozens of expeditions. This was supposed to be routine. Their destination was Gora Otorten, a remote peak deep in the Urals. To reach it, they would pass through a stretch of highland ridge the local Monsey people had a name for. Kholat Syakhl. It translates as the Mountain of the Dead. The group went in on the 27th of January. They made camp on the eastern slope on the night of the 1st of February. They were never seen alive again. When no word came, a search team was dispatched. What they found made experienced Soviet military officers go quiet, the tent still standing, but cut open from the inside, not torn by wind, not collapsed by snow, sliced, as though whoever was inside needed to get out immediately and had no time to use the door. All belongings were left behind. Boots, coats, food, cameras, everything they would need to survive in minus 30-degree temperatures, abandoned in the dark. The first bodies were found 1.5 kilometers from the tent, barefoot, in the snow, in their underwear. 2 of them, Yuri Doroshenko and Georgy Krivonishenko, were found beneath a large cedar tree. The tree's upper branches had been broken. They had climbed it. They had been trying to see something above them. 3 more bodies, including Igor Dyatlov himself, were found between the cedar and the tent. As if they had been trying to return, they died of hypothermia. Their faces were turned toward the slope they had fled. The remaining 4 were found in May, buried under 4 meters of snow in a ravine. This is where the file changes. The Soviet medical examiner, Dr. Boris Vozrojdeny, submitted his findings under protest. His report was classified almost immediately. 3 of the 4 ravine victims had injuries that could not be explained. Lyudmila Dubinina had massive chest trauma, multiple broken ribs, bilateral. Her heart was hemorrhaged. Her tongue was missing, removed, not bitten. The tissue showed clean separation. Semyon Zolotaryov and Nikolai Thibault-Brignol had catastrophic skull fractures, the kind consistent with being struck by a vehicle or hit with tremendous focused force. But here is what Vozrojdeny wrote, and what the Soviets tried to bury. The fatal injuries could not have been caused by a human being, because the force of the blows was too strong and no soft tissue had been damaged on the surface. Tremendous internal force, 0 external wounds. Whatever hit them, it hit them from the inside out. 2 bodies had missing eyes. Radiation was found on clothing, levels described by Foundation analysts as directional rather than environmental, meaning the contamination wasn't atmospheric. Something targeted specific garments. Witnesses in the region, soldiers, locals, another hiking group, reported glowing orange spheres moving through the sky above Kholat Syakhl on the night of February the 1st. The Soviet military confirmed the sightings in documents that weren't declassified until 1990. The skin of several victims had turned deep orange. Their hair had gone gray. The Soviet investigation concluded a compelling natural force. The case was sealed. The files were locked for 25 years. The pass was closed to hikers for 3 years after the incident. You don't close a mountain because of an avalanche. There was a soldier in the first search team, a conscript named Valentin. He gave a statement in 1959 that was removed from the official record within 48 hours. It resurfaced in Foundation files in 2019. He said that when they approached the tent on that first morning, the snow around it was completely undisturbed. No footprints leading away, no drag marks, no signs of struggle in the surrounding area. He said the footprints only began 15 meters from the tent door, as if whatever left them didn't walk away from the tent, as if it descended from somewhere above it. He also said something that the official Soviet report never mentioned, that when they found the cedar tree, the one the two hikers had climbed, the bark on the upper branches wasn't broken outward. It was pressed inward. Something had been above them in that tree. Valentin filed no further statements. He was reassigned 2 days later. Foundation records show his name appears once more in a personnel transfer document signed by the same operative who embedded himself in the search team, a man named Sokolov. There is a final section in the Foundation's version of this file, a section that didn't come from Soviet archives. It's a personnel record, a name, a member of the original search team in 1959, a man listed in Soviet records as a military surveyor, who appears in Foundation internal logs 4 years earlier, in 1955. He was one of ours. The Foundation had an operative embedded in the search team. They weren't called in after the incident. They were already there, which means the Foundation knew something was on that mountain before 9 people died on it. His name was Sokolov, and the last Foundation transmission he ever filed contained 4 words before the signal dropped. It came from above. The Soviets called it a natural force. Scientists call it an avalanche. The Foundation called it something they weren't ready to name in 1959. Sokolov never filed another transmission. He doesn't appear in any record after February 1959. I've cross-referenced the injury profile, the internal force, 0 external trauma, with the Dogman file. File 003. They're not identical, but they're close enough that I've flagged it to the Foundation. They haven't replied. Adam Mercer, The Black Files.